of my very favorite things that we do as scrapbookers is we take a collection that is themed or intended for one purpose and we look at it with fresh new eyes and use it for something totally different. Hi guys, my name is Jana Eubank. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am working with the Simple Stories Flea Market collection, which is adorable, and I am going to use it for something other than flea market finds. I know that vintage flea market shopping is really popular right now. My kids love to do it. My son loves to especially do it. And that is what this collection is geared towards. However, I love all of the fresh, trendy colors, and I thought it would be perfect for these photos of my daughters. Now, these photos did happen at home, which, works with this collection. However, at first glance, if you didn't know that was my home, you would think that they were out camping or in a hammock. But because these photos are of my daughters, I think the colors work perfectly and will be a really fun way to get more mileage out of this collection. So the first paper that I'm working with, as you can see there, is that colorful floral. It's the back side of the journal element paper, and I was really drawn to it. I love the background grid that it has, and then of course all of those florals scattered across the sheet. I'm going to piece together this plaid paper along with it to create the background block for my two photos. I'm also working with the coordinating Color Vibe cardstocks. I'm working with teal Color Vibe cardstock as my background, and for now I have it dot side up, and then for my two photos I am matting them with other colors of Color Vibe cardstock. I have the lilac Color Vibe cardstock for my main photo, which comes from the spring Color Vibe collection, and then I have flamingo for my smaller photo, which comes from the summer Color Vibe collection. Now that I have my background pieced together, I'm looking for more design elements to start adding in. One of my favorite papers to work with in the Simple Stories collections is the tags paper. You can use these tags for anything. Of course, you could use them as they are and just cut them out and add them. They have really cute designs to them. You could just add them to packages as tags. You could leave them together in strips and score in between them and accordion fold them and make a tag mini book out of them. You can just flip them over and use the back side for your journaling or for a place to hold your title, or like I'm doing today, you can simply just tuck them in between the layers of your scrapbook layout and just have them peeking out as something interesting and as a design element, as I said before. So that's how I will be using the tags today. The next thing I'm doing is I'm going through the journal bits from this flea market collection, and there's all kinds of fun images and shapes in these die cuts. What I love about Simple Stories is that every single die cut pack has different shapes in it. So you're not going to find the same frame in every single collection. And in this particular collection, there's lots of cute little tickets and frames, all kinds of cute stuff. And so I'm just going through it, and I'm going to use a lot of them for my design today. You can see that I've pulled out several phrases that I'm going to layer together in the top right corner of my main photo. And now I'm coming across to some little tag shapes that I'm going to layer to the left of that library card. I even found that so cute phrase that was on a little journal block that I'm going to tuck behind and use as a tab above my smaller photo. There's also a ticket strip, a smaller ticket strip that I'm adding along the bottom of the page. I don't adhere that in place right now, but I will come back and add that as another layer at the bottom of this grouping. So be sure to grab those and give them a try. They are a lot of fun. Now that I have all the pieces picked out from the journal bits pack, I'm going to go ahead and adhere those journal bits into place, as well as the tags behind the top of my photo block. Now I still haven't adhered this to my background, and that's so I can layer and move things around. The next thing I want to look for is my title. I'm thinking I want to place my title along the bottom of my main photo, and I definitely want to add in some dimension with the title options from the foam stickers. I love that these have a clear backing so that I can just cut them apart and audition several in place. I thought I might use this blessed one because it balances out the salmon pink color of the library card that I already have going, but it just felt a little too predictable. So next I'm going to try this authentic one and this dark green delightful one. I end up going with this dark green delightful title. I love that it's the only dark green piece on my page, and I often do this with my titles. I will pick something that's a completely different color than everything else on the page, and that really helps that title to stand out. Now, before I totally press down that foam sticker, I'm going to add some baby powder under each end. That way, if I want to come back and add in some florals or some other pieces to accent that title, I will be able to lift it up and do that. The next thing I'm going to do is work with the all the little bits that I picked out to go in the upper right corner of that main photo. I love these phrases. Of course, yep is something my daughters would say because they're just silly. Lovelies because I think my daughters are lovely. And then I'm going to also add in these tickets along the bottom that I mentioned earlier. I'll go back to the foam stickers now and look for some more dimensional pieces that I can add around the page just to balance out that title. And I have these cute little hearts left on my foam stickers, so I'm going to add one of those up in that upper corner. Now I do want to call more attention to my title, and I mentioned that I put that baby powder under the right end so that I can tuck some things in. I'm really drawn to the floral bits of this collection, and so I'm working with some of those clusters to see if one might work under this right hand corner. I go ahead and select this larger one, and I'm going to adhere that in place, but I actually switch it out a little bit later. I find another row of foam hearts, and I'm going to add that right along the bottom of that Mustard So Cute tab. And then I am auditioning that third piece in that upper right corner of the main photo. I don't adhere it right now, but I will come back and add that later. Now I'm still messing around with the florals, and I'm actually going to play with these quite a bit. And so I'll just let you watch that. I was trying to, I don't know, I just didn't know if it was too big or too clumpy looking. And the idea of putting the floral bits down in that right corner by the title is to balance out the floral paper in the upper right. I do know that I want to add some florals by that title, but I'm not sure how to add in a visual triangle of more florals since I already have that floral paper. So I'm just trying lots of things. I'm tucking in florals. I thought, well, maybe I'll add a cluster of them here at the top by the tags. And so I work with this a lot, and I have a lot of fun with them, and I really love them, but nothing is grabbing me. I don't know if it's just this week that I'm struggling with embellishing, or if I'm just being super picky. I don't know. So I play with these florals for quite a while, and you know what I end up doing? I end up taking them all off. Usually I can settle on something, but when I can't, I just kind of back up and I take everything out again, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go work on something else, and we'll come back to the florals later. So the next thing I do is I had a little strip of this scallop border sticker left on the cardstock stickers, and I decide to add that under the right edge of the main photo. Again, here's where I'm coming back and adding that third little piece of the hearts from the foam stickers. And now I'm just going to work on other parts of this page while I'm in the background of my mind thinking about those florals. So I'm going to go ahead and add some white twine to the top of the tags. That's a given, right? So I can add in the details that I know I want to have, and then I will go back and play with those florals some more. So now that I've added in the twine and worked with that, I'm going to add a phrase sticker to that cluster of embellishments in the top right corner of my photos. Now the phrase sticker is a little bit too thick. I already had those other two phrases there from the journal bits. So I just simply take my scissors and trim it to a little thinner so that it can just sneak right in there in between those other two phrases that I already have. So now I'm coming back to the florals, and this time instead of playing with the clusters of florals, I'm going to play with the single pieces. There is this particular design that almost looks like a daisy or that there are several florals, so I thought, you know what, that's a really simple looking floral. Let's play with these for a minute and see if this will look better. Since we have so many detailed clustered florals in that pattern paper, let's just try out the simple florals. So I add a couple of them to the right side of that title, and I'll come back and play with those again some more. I'm going to switch gears and go back to the tag paper. And you remember that at the top of the page, I was trying to add in a third floral cluster. Instead of doing that, I decided to add in a tag. So I bring in this light mint tag, and I like how that looks. The odd number just looks a little bit better than the two paired together at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. I also like how those tags extend to where they are overlapping the mat of the largest photos. So it makes the floral paper feel connected to the mat of the largest photos. So I like how that looks. I am back to the florals again, like I mentioned, and I find these two little leaf branches, and I'm going to tuck those in there along with those simple florals on the right hand side, and I am settled on that. I like how that looks. I'm back to the ticket shapes. These two ticket shapes actually come from the Journal Elements paper. I went ahead and fussy cut around them and then used a hole punch to just notch out the ticket ends. And then I'm just going to tuck a couple of them in the top left corner. The reason I did that is the florals are overhanging the bottom right edge of my photo block. And so I needed something to kind of break the blockiness on the left edge. So I went ahead and added those two ticket pieces. I also added my journaling in pen to the library block, and now I'm going to come in with a date stamp. This one's from the January Pocket Life Kit by Hip Kit Club, and I'm going to go ahead and add the date. Now this memory comes from COVID when we were all stuck at home, and my kids, we had just all been inside our house or stuck at home for about a month. My kids were getting tired of it and they just needed a change of pace, so they went to the camping supplies in the basement and dug out our hammock, and they decided to set up the hammock in the forest next to our house. And I'm so happy that they did, because they spent many hours out there just scrolling on their phone and talking and laughing and giggling together and reading a book. So I went ahead and framed out my background with another piece of Color Vibe cardstock. I'm using the blush cardstock, and then I stitched that on my sewing machine. I also went ahead and added some enamel dots in a teal color to match the teal background. Unfortunately, I forgot to turn on my camera for that, so you just see that I have a little sprinkling in the upper left corner by the tag, and then I sprinkled some around the flowers by the title. Now the smaller photo needed a little something something, so I went to the cardstock stickers and found some camera images, and I'm going to layer together two of those pieces right there. I also will bring in the last enamel dot in that color off the pack, and I'm just going to tuck it to the left of the camera. I hate having little orphan pieces left over on my sticker, so I thought, you know what, let's get that used up, and I just tucked that there by those cameras. I found some more of those simple daisy flowers from the floral bits, and I'm going to tuck a couple of them here along the left side of the page, and I like that balances out the florals on the right edge. So I'm feeling good with the way that this page ended up. I just sprinkled in some white acrylic paint in the background just to finish it off, and that will do it. So we have taken a collection that is geared towards vintage flea market finds and have used it for some outdoor photos. And I love it. I love the bright, happy colors and love the way this page came together. Hey, thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this and that you feel inspired to get into your craft room and make something fun today. Let me know if you have any questions or any requests. I would love to hear them, and we'll see you again soon.